All right. I had a list immediately. Because I don't know, disturbing, shocking music is kind of where I live. I like it. Like I said, the Immortal Technique is one that I could not. I listened to it. I listened to it years and years and years ago, but it's not one I could listen to on a daily because it's psychologically. I mean, it's like what the. I mean, I can't imagine. And then the way the narrator flipped the script and said, "Yeah, I was there." And the devil follows me around too, I mean, the devil's everywhere. It's like a 9-minute song. It's almost 2 songs in one. And but yeah, my number 5 is just as a little disturbing. It's I Saw Your Mommy, Suicidal Tendencies. The original version is the 83 self-titled debut album, but the version I heard it is off of the compilation album, a 1987 compilation album called Prime Cuts. That's where I found found this song. And looking, it's the guy telling the story finds a body, and there's bugs crawling in its hair, there's blood everywhere. I saw your mommy. The music is if you've ever were a Puddle of Mud fan, and their hit song She Fucking Hates Me, Puddle of Mud borrowed or highly inspired by the music. The music sounds almost exactly the same. It was uncanny to me when I made that connection, but the Suicidal Tendency is very, very disgusting, and it's just great. It's just right in my wheelhouse. Number 2 or number 4, excuse me, is an oldie, originally written in 1966, inspired by the sniper at the Texas University. Do you remember hearing about that story?
They killed 5 people.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it was inspired. A blind man.
I was alive when that happened, so it was a big thing.
You want a cookie?
No, I was in grade school though, or just started, so it kind of sticks to you when you first hear stories like that.
But yeah, the whole story of that was traumatic, and so this guy, he was blind, he didn't even see it, he just heard the story, wrote it in 1966, and then a couple people, I mean, it was written for like Elvis and Johnny Cash. I don't think they ever recorded it. I think George Jones, I think, did a cover of it, but the cover that I like, the version of it I like, is by Jack Kittel. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the song is called Psycho. And he's talking about all these horror. He's like, I ran into my ex-girlfriend last night. She was with this guy. They're now buried underneath this tree. And don't you think I'm psycho, mama? He's like telling his mom this story, and then like and throughout and it ends. He tells, off the dog, off his little brother, off the girl next door, and then Mama, I'm sorry I broke your cup. Like he just offed his mom. Her, mom had the coffee cup in his hand, and she's offed and broke her cup.
Yeah.
But again, this was 1966. For this song to come out then, I mean, I couldn't imagine what these people back in 1966 were going through when they heard this song.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember when we did the 1920s, and there were so many songs about beating women and murder.
Yeah.
that I think it's just natural progression. I think it got better as time went on.
We got less shocked. They desensitized us to it. All the violence in movies, video games. It's got to be the video games. The video games. Yeah.
Damn Sonic the Hedgehog.
Damn that guy. All right, Kevin did mention my number 3, and this is his wheelhouse, and he's got ties to Trent Reznor, Mr. Marilyn Manson. And this is the 1989 album, Mechanical Animals. And the album is like Marilyn Manson with boobies and, no genitalia. And so that's shocking right there. But that is his bread and butter, is shocking the hell out of people. And my song is I Don't Like the Drugs, but the drugs
The
like
drugs
me.
like me. Yeah.
'Cause that,
Mhm.
you know, that's not a lot, you know, even in 98, you know, you weren't still hearing, you know, blatant drug references. I mean, they were still kind of laced and hidden in things, you know, but he's just like, yeah, drugs, cool.
Yeah. I had
Do
the
'em.
dope show on mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, that whole album is a good album. He, think what you will about him. He's a brilliant and talented artist. You know, whatever
Oh
he
yeah.
does, we've gone over, you know, whatever he does, and you know, I don't know. And that you got to carry that one on to my number two, because my number two is probably the most disgusting, filthy, horrible person ever to roam the earth. And so, Mr. G.G. Allin, just shitting on people,
Oh, that
just
guy.
saying people on stage, which I don't know how much of it was propped, but you know, staged. Because I mean, surely, I mean, he
It
was
wasn't.
arrested a
It
lot.
wasn't. It was not staged.
I'm sure some of it was, because he would have been arrested a lot more. But either way,
No, it was not staged. I've been to one of their shows. No, it was not staged. He just does it. Even when he
Maybe
did.
he has a condition or had a condition.
If you go in there, you better expect that shit to happen. That's all. That's
well,
all.
are you talking about him or his brother?
No, I'm talking about him.
Okay, because I mean,
He
he
did.
died.
He did a talking tour too, and he did the same shit.
Yeah, well,
If you started not paying attention to him, all of a sudden you walk up there and smear his hand in your fucking face, and
he was definitely a vile, disgusting, shocking person. And
He's
the
still on
song I
punch
chose is "When I Die," and I mean, he knew he wasn't gonna live forever. Didn't want to. He was trying to go out as fast as possible. And I mean, it's, for the most part, it's kind of like a will and testament, you know. I mean, because when he did die, he overdosed in somebody's apartment after running from the cops from a show in New York or something like that, and fatal dose, and was gone. And a lot of photos with the body before the cops were called, and then they pretty much buried him like he was, and that's what he wanted. Just bury me with this bottle of Jim Beam. That's the only friend I ever had in life. And it's raw, because you do hear a little bit of the sadness. Most of the stuff was punk, in your face, just shock you, I mean, make you go, what the fuck is going on? But this song, you hear a little bit, I mean, I was always alone, when I go to jail, I got nobody to call, I got nobody to help me out, I got nobody to hear me, so it was raw and shocking that he opened up in that sense for that song. To me, it was, anyhow. But like I said, he a filthy, horrible person, and I mean, huge cult now. I mean, he's way more popular dead than he ever was alive. I mean, most people. I mean, he was on the Sally Jesse Raphael show. Remember that show? He was on there getting beat up by Sally Jesse, and I mean, he was out there. I can't agree on. I can't say I would do anything, but he was rock and roll. I mean, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do it my way. And what he wanted to do was be the most disgusting, vile person ever on the face of the planet. And I would say he did a pretty good job of doing that.
Yeah, while he was alive, they didn't get to play a whole lot of shows, because every time he come to town, after a while, he was banned from certain towns, and the cops would pick him up and escort him out of town, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah. Get out.
So the murder junkies now get to actually do tours, even though the brother's pretty gross, but not quite that extreme.
Yeah, I've heard some stories too.
Oh, I got pictures, actually.
Evidence. But my number one, like I said, was bumped. So, but I had one waiting in the ranks, and I'm glad I got to use it. It's by Rehab, and off of the 2014 album Graffiti the World, and the song is Red Water. And it's about, he's the narrator in the story is a kid. His best friend lives next door, and the dad next door, the kid's idolizing the family because he kind of wants that family. But what he doesn't realize is the dad is just hating life and offs himself in the bathtub, and so overflowing bathtub of red water. And it's beautiful. The music is beautiful. You don't expect it to be about that, and there it is. It's about that. And anytime, like I said, I like Rehab. I've always liked Rehab. They got a couple songs that could be considered shocking,
Mm.
but yeah,